Hello, welcome. This is to explain to you about Latin or Classical Greek if you were to study them with us at A level. Both subjects are offered at A level, so if you've done Grattan at GCSE, then obviously both languages are available to you, or Latin is of course available to anyone who has studied it at GCSE before. First question then, what is it you'll actually be studying? Well, the course splits into two halves really. The unseen translation element and then the literature that you're used to starting now in your GCSE. These are skills that you will have looked at already throughout your study of the ancient languages, but you'll be furthering and really deepening your knowledge with A level. So the unseen translation, you'll do weekly translations of unseen work to make sure that you're a confident translator by the time that you get to the end of the course. We like to as well spend some time looking more in depth, so reading a number of pieces of literature from the same authors so you can get really familiar with those, just so that you've had an in-depth study when you come on to look at the authors, whether they're in the final A-level exam or perhaps if you wanted to go on and study Latin or Greek or classics at university too. We also then look at a number of set literature authors. What we actually try to do is have different ones in the lower sixth and upper sixth year so that you can meet 3 or 4 different authors across the course, which we think offers you a great deal of variety. The list of set texts that we have to study never disappoints. There's so many great pieces of literature in the classical world for us to choose from, and so you might be reading about an epic, and the next year you might be looking at a tragedy or a piece of poetry. We try and make sure there's a variety so that you get a good flavour of the literature that is available to us from the classical world, and we make sure of course that you thoroughly get used to the writing style and the vocabulary of your chosen authors ready for the final exams. I think that's often the element that students really enjoy because of course you're actually seeing the opinions, the way of living of the ancient authors firsthand, reading it in the original. So what skills will you gain? I mean, the ancient languages can offer you so many different things. Not only are they useful in your study, your understanding of other more modern languages, but they can also, of course, provide you with the skills of being able to analyse and understand primary sources because you're grappling with the language in the original pieces of literature. And then also you have to obviously have systematic and logical thought as you're going through and translating. But also you have the kind of research and literary analysis skills because you've got to be able to read and comment upon the authors that you're looking at. But of course, we're looking at a society that's over 2,000 years old now. So you have to have the social awareness of studying a culture and society that's so different from our own. And then you're developing your written and oral communication too, because you're writing essays on the pieces of literature, you're debating the way that a translation can be rendered in class, and all those things build up to provide you with a wide variety of skills, we think, in just one option block. Where can classics take me? This is what most people want to know, isn't it? Okay, we're not expecting you all to go on to become a Latin teacher or anything like that, but we believe that all those skills that we've just looked at there can provide you with an excellent foundation ready to go on into any number of jobs that you wanted to do. And this is why we have students that may be looking at all sciences and then Latin or Greek is their additional sort of extra A-level that they're doing that is a sort of variety for them. Or we have those students that are actually thinking, they want to go on and study modern foreign languages, and so Latin or Greek can add to that as well. Or of course there's those students that are looking at a more humanities-based course and want the sort of rigour as well of the language that they can add into the mix too. And all those things of course then mean that you've got the skills going forwards into a whole variety of jobs. Okay, yes, you've got the famous faces of classicists that have gone by, that have studied at university or school, but you've also then got to think about behind the scenes in different things. So here we've got images from people that are working on television programs or books and those kind of things, offering the advice because they understand the language that's behind them. behind some of the stories. Or if you have a look at the statistics actually of what people really go on to study or do when they've finished, well, it's a whole variety of things. As we say, no doors are closed to you. You know, there's business, marketing, or it might be education or something like that. But there's a whole world out there afterwards that the classics really can keep the doors open to. If we look at it a little bit more specifically then, where does classics, where has the study of the ancient languages taken some of our Peterites? Well, we've got students that have gone on maybe to do advertising, or that have gone into media, or have gone into journalism, things like that. Or there's others that are just finishing now, had a number that have achieved, you know, a first or a top first in their class at university, which is really so impressive. And you can see that the universities that our students have gone on to study at, there's a variety of them, all fantastic universities that our students have gone on to. Our current students that are taking Latin or classics at A-level are down in the corner for you. So we've got many actually that like to go on and do classics or ancient history at university, but we've also got those going on to do business or history. So there's no set path that classics really forces you down, but actually it just keeps the doors open to many different things afterwards. Maybe you still want to know more. You've got other questions for us. Well, we'd be delighted to speak to you in your current GCSE lessons, so you can approach any one of us, perhaps in one of those, or come and find one of us in the department. You can email me or just come and find me in the classics office. My email address is there. I'm Miss Downs, I'm head of classics. So of course I'd be delighted to answer any of your questions. Please do come along and ask us. Really, we just look forward to teaching you next year in the A-level classroom. Thank you.